Hey guys, Tim here, Big Dog Forge. Welcome back to the shop. It's good to see you again. So a subscriber of mine sent me a link to a video. Young man's last name is Nielsen, I believe, and he built a treadle hammer for his sort of old world blacksmith shop. And I kind of like the design. I'm going to put my own twist on it, and we're going to build one of those today. We're going to scale it down a little bit because we don't have a lot of room in the new smithy, but it's a unique design, and I really liked it. So here you go. Take a look in the description below for the link to the young man who built his treadle hammer, and I suggest you watch his channel. It's pretty good and very old school smithy type stuff. Anyway, I'll see you at the other end of this thing, guys. Enjoy. Should be fun. Stick with me. Okay, guys, let's get this hammer build done. So this particular treadle hammer is modeled after one I saw online, and I'm going to do my own variation of it, and it looks like fun. So we have lumber, we have post hole diggers, and we have Big Dog. So basically this build, we're going to put two posts in the ground the proper distance apart, so our hammer will pivot on one, and we'll have our anvil or bottom tool fixture on the other. It's a pretty simple hammer. The Gooby Dog, the lumber that we purchased was recycled, came from a salvage outfit, and I had some 4x6s and 4x8s. This is a 4x6 we're putting in for the hammer pivot, the handle pivot, and I paid, I believe, $1.10 a linear foot for the 4x material, and then the 2x4s you see stacked behind me there, they were 20 cents a linear foot. So I got this fairly cheap. I also bought the return spring from them. It's like an assist garage door opening spring. Alright, these are a couple of pieces of angle iron that I pre-drilled. I welded a couple of pieces of pipe up the top to help support the pivot, so it wasn't just, on the edge of a piece of angle iron. And we'll put a little grease in there to make it last a little longer. So I prefabricated a few parts for this build to make it go a little quicker in the video. There we go. And that's what our hammer handle will pivot on. This piece I'm showing you, a couple of pieces of pipe, a piece of pipe welded across, is the socket that the hammer handle will be mounted into. A little hook on the back for the spring to hold on to. Alright, this is our 16-pound sledgehammer. We paid 50 cents for the hammer head at a garage sale, about $4 for the handle. Had to rehandle it, and there you go. Alright, now we know where the anvil needs to go. I took a couple of 4x6 posts and screwed and glued them together for the anvil post. And we'll see how close we got here. We need that hammer to land just about the center of that post. There we go. And we need to move back a little bit. That's okay. We can dig a little wider hole. Like that, Big Dog. A man with a PhD trying to build a hammer. Yes, a post hole digger. You thought I meant the other kind. Alright, there we go. We're going to tamp this hole down in the bottom. And I really like this design. Very straight, simple, forward. And if I ever want to move it, dig it up, move it. It's small. And I think it'll work really well. So this is just some angle iron, a cap that I made for the anvil post. Little hole in the middle is a hardy hole, so I can put different bottom tooling in it. And this is a little anvil that I built just for the bottom half to get started, and we'll build more tools as time goes on. We get that post lined up and tamp it in, so it's alignment and tamp and alignment and tamp, you know. Repeat as necessary. And they stabilize pretty well. And I'll continue to pack them in over time to make sure they're going to stay in place. This whole thing's going to wiggle in the ground a little bit to begin with, but as time goes on, it'll evolve, and we'll put more bracing on it as we figure out what we need. But today we'll get the basic model put together. There we go. We're just going to paddle bit and hog out some of this material for the post on the bottom tool, and we use our hammer to drive it in with. There we go. And that hole will loosen up over time. Alright. Now we need to make the rear post just a little bit wider so we can get our braces extended to the front post. And for the moment we're just going to put on some horizontal braces. Later I'll put some diagonal braces from the bottom of the back up towards the front, top of the front post. And one of my concerns is that if I overuse this thing, I may drive that post in the front a little further in the ground, but it's not going to go too far. There you go. Alright, this is our treadle. And we'll put that cross brace in a little bit later after we get this put together. We've got a notch in this 2x4. And we're simply going to glue and nail that to the rear post, and that should be sufficient. Gazoon tight. Alright, there we go. Oh, that won't fall over at all. Sure, there we go. A little better. Shim it up. Alright, this is Tight Bond 3. I really like this stuff. It seems to work really well. And we'll put a couple of dozen nails in this. You know, the more nails the better, always, right? There we go. That should be enough of those. And we get our little cross piece put in right behind the front post. And that's the cross piece that our rope will tie to, that we're going to use to pull the hammer. We'll put a little piece of leather under that rope to keep it from sliding up and down on the handle. So the piece of sort of suede. Alright, we'll simply tie it to our cross brace. And the rope will have a little bit of give, but we can always replace it if it gets too stretched or whatever. But I've used this rope for this kind of thing before. It works really well. And it's nice and soft on the hammer handle. So, alright, we're going to put a little step on the top of this treadle. It'll help make it a little more rigid, a little wider foot pedal. And another couple of dozen nails in this part. There we go. And then we'll make a stop to keep the hammer from bouncing up and back too far. And it'll still have plenty of swing to do what we need to do. Dirt on the pedal, you goof. Alright, let's give this thing a shot. We're going to punch a hole through a piece of 5/8 inch square bar with it. And this thing ended up working a lot better than I thought it would. It, even though I'm using a top tool, it is not really made for it. It's a little bit too long. I could get more swing if I had a little shorter punch. So I'll end up building some specialty top and bottom tools for this as time goes on and as I need them. But It worked out really well. This is one of those things, after I punched my first hole with it, I just punched a bunch more because it was fun. So I needed something fairly small for the shop. There's not a whole lot of space, and it worked out really well. So I'm very, very happy with this particular build, and I'm sure we're going to get a lot of good use out of it. All right. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him well. Hi. So anyway, guys, there you go. The treadle hammer is done. It works really well. A lot better than I thought it would. It's amazing. You can get a lot of force out of that thing. And super simple build. If I ever need to move it, dig it up, move it. It's no big deal. So it was easy to build, easy to put together. The pivoting parts that I did on mine could be done very easily in other ways, using timber, that kind of thing. I fabricated the pivot on the back the way I did because I wanted it to last a while, and I could. So anyway, all right, guys, I really appreciate you watching the video. Thank you very much. Like, share the video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, what's wrong? Come on. It's the little button. Push it. It's subscribed. Yeah. You can just subscribe and then forget. Subscribe and forget. That's, you know, it's a... Yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. And next time we'll be working on a treadle grinder. We have one of those to put together, refurb that. So tune in next time, guys. Right here, Big Dog Forge. Thanks again. Take care. Be safe. Bye-bye now.